Race 2 for the Royal Purple Hot Hatch Championship is about to get underway. They're all lined up in the assembly area, beautiful array of Fiestas, Civics, Integras, Clios, etc. Steve Sawley was second in the first race. Alistair Camp was first in his Fiesta. Let's see if we can jump in. Alistair got a fastest lap in the first race. Temperature's not as hot as yesterday. Is it going to be different? Is it going to make it better?
Hopefully it'll be better anyway. Spent a few pound notes and got some new rubber on the front end for today. Hope to try and keep Steve today at bay.
And Steve, you're only second. You joined him on the front row. What can you do going into the first corner?
Shove him off. Nothing. I mean, I'll try, but Alistair's got a good drive. He's got a little bit more power, so that's why I'm suffering. And I need to get some weight out of the car. I'm a bit 150 kilos overweight. I'm in weight limit, so I don't think I've got an answer, but I'll try my best.
Yes, thank you very much, Anthony. Race 1 was very entertaining. Race 2 should be likewise. They start this one the way in which they finished race 1. So it's Camp and Sawley from Vella and Peerless, the front couple of rows. We'll be watching for a few of them to come through from further down the order as well. Those that maybe had problems in the earlier race as well. Ben Rushworth, of course, one who we were hoping to see come through from the fourth row of the grid, but he appears not to be there. He may be starting from the back. We'll wait and see if we get confirmation of that in a moment or two. But it will be Alistair Camp in the green Ford Fiesta on pole position, Steve Sawley alongside him, then the orange Civic of Roger and Vella alongside the white and pink one of John Peerless. That's Joe Ben in his Ford Fiesta further down the order, and we're on board with him for the start as it all springs into life in front of us. Brilliant start by Steve Sawley. He will have a comfortable lead on the run up towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Alistair Camp second, they're three abreast for third though. Three Civics in towards Paddock Hill Bend. Do they all come back out the other side? I think they will, and it's Martin Ward who comes through with third place. So Martin Ward from fifth on the grid found a gap on the inside and gets through into third. We've got Roger and Vella there trying to come back round the outside from there, and there appears to be some fluid coming out of the side of the number 12 car, Martin Ward. Now that could just be excess fuel if they put too much fuel in the car. I'm not sure which side the fuel filler cap is, but it could just be pouring out because they put a bit too much fuel in it. We'll wait and see. Back on board with Ben again though as he came down into Graham Hill Bend. The leaders though started to make a break for it. Can Alistair Camp go after Steve Sawley? That's the question. We saw in race 1 how Sawley looked quicker through the corners, but Camp had the straight line speed advantage. But can Camp use that to close in and overhaul the Honda Civic and retake the race lead? Back down across the start finish line they go. Then it's all Civics from third on back, isn't it? With Martin Ward third, Roger and Vella fourth, John Peerless there in fifth place. Look at how the lead gap is coming down. There's no doubt about it. Alistair Camp is up for this. He's closing in on Steve Sawley, who has to defend in towards Druids. But now the next sequence of corners, you'd imagine, will favour potentially the Honda Civic because it's more twisty and technical through the rest of the lap. It's only really the run down the pit straight where Camp should have a big advantage. But if he can get close enough onto the straight, then he can take advantage of that, then there might not be much that Sawley can do. Back with Joe Ben. Every time we ride on board with Joe, he's got someone new to race with. He's got one of the Saxos in front of him. The reigning Saxo champion, Paul Jarvis, not here this weekend. We're hoping that he'll make a return later on in the season. Out onto the pit straight comes Camp, so you can see the gap there. It's about 3 or 4 car lengths coming onto the straight. Is that close enough for him to attack on the brakes into towards Paddock Hill Bend? Of course, he carries more speed across the line, but then has to get on the brakes a little bit earlier maybe than Sawley. He was very late that time and nearly couldn't stop the car, so he'll have to be careful with that one. But it seems that Paddock Hill Bend and Druids are definitely going to be Alistair Camp's best opportunities to get this done, because they come at the end of the fastest section of the circuit. Back through the right-hander at Druids again. And Steve Sawley will be doing everything he can here to just drive it perfectly. All he can do is not make a mistake. If he doesn't make a mistake and Camp still manages to drive past him, then there's nothing more that he could have done. But as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, then he might just be able to keep enough of a gap over Alistair that Alistair can't just drive past him in a straight line. Having said that, Camp is even closer this time than he was a lap ago. We saw how close he got at the end of the straight. The gap now is only about 3 car lengths. It was about 4 car lengths a lap ago. Does Steve Sawley defend the inside line? He does not. So Alistair Camp will look to the inside of the brake for Paddock Hill Bend. He's very, very late on the brakes again. But no, that's just enough of an advantage. So as long as he can't get any, he doesn't get any closer to Steve Sawley going onto the pit straight, there is a chance that Steve can hang on. The next 13 minutes plus 1 lap cannot go by quickly enough for the race leader though, because it's going to be a real defensive job to try and keep hold of the race lead. There go the 3 Civics next in line, still Martin Ward third with Roger and Vella in fourth, and Roger is looking a little bit quicker of course. He did out qualify Martin in both races. Roger in third on the grid in race 1, finished third, therefore started third for this one as well. And Rodren is, the cars on the outside look near identical, don't they? But Rodren has just had the slight edge thus far this weekend. You can see the car just looks a little bit more planted, a bit tighter through the corner. That therefore means he can get on the throttle a bit earlier and carry more speed out of the straight, and then also gets the advantage of a slipstream across the start-finish line. But having said that, in a straight line, it looks like Martin Ward's car maybe has a slight advantage. So of course, the cars are built to various regulations. It's not one set of regulations for the whole series. Alistair Camp's up alongside Steve Sawley here, though. He's going to go right around the outside at Druids. What a move this will be if it pays off. Sawley leaves him room. Fair play to Steve Sawley, because he could have shown him the edge of the road there, but he's then late on the brakes into Graham Hill Bend, and just about by the skin of his teeth manages to hang on. But that was some terrific side-by-side racing between Alistair Camp and Steve Sawley, and it is still the latter who holds on to the race lead. Here's the three-way fight for third, making its way through Surtees. But the race leaders making their way through clearways, and I think that Alistair Camp he's got Steve Sawley worried here. Steve is a little bit wide this time through clearways, pulls over to the white line on the inside of the road, back up towards paddock. Camp to the outside, Sawley to the inside. Camp's going to have to go the long way around here. There's a back marker in front as well, which could further complicate things. Oh, the back marker's not watching his mirrors. This could all get very messy indeed. Diving up the inside, there goes Steve Sawley, but that nearly went horribly wrong. That was Paul Cockerell in the Citroen C2 VTS, and somehow Steve Sawley still hanging on. Now, is he quite as lenient with Camp this time with the extra Druids? He doesn't need to be, because actually Camp wasn't still alongside, so they're still in the same order as we now move into the second half of the race. On board with Joe Baird, he's going to be one of the next cars to go a lap down. Then in car number 13, Joe finished the first race in 22nd place in his much more standard Ford Fiesta. There aren't many Ford Fiestas that are more highly tuned than Alistair Camp's car, which is indecently fast. Really doesn't handle all that well, but that doesn't really matter, because as soon as you get out onto the pit straight, the Tom Bell prepared machine just lights the afterburners and off it goes. Checking with some of the battle going further back with the intensity of the lead battle, it's easy to forget that there's a field full of cars all enjoying equally close racing. Jordan Holmes there in his Citroen Saxo, just losing out actually to a couple of cars there going down the Cooper Straight. And he'll be looking to try and regain those places. In fact, he's surrounded by other Citroen Saxos here, isn't he, which are going quicker than him this time around. Number 11 there is Ian Williamson, who goes around the outside, gets all out of shape once, twice, three times, gathers it together, loses momentum in the process though, and so Holmes will go back ahead. Bit straight he goes. He now starts to use that superior straight line speed in that more modified Citroen Saxo to try and close in on the more standard ex-Saxmax cars in front of him. Number 21, Michael Winkworth, is the next one. That's the white, blue and fluorescent yellow machine in front of him, who got past him partly through the previous lap, but now is starting to feel the pressure once again. So back across the line for Joe Baird. Has he now got a lap down to the leaders? Not sure, they're around here somewhere. I think he's looking in his mirrors. Well, here goes the third place battle. They're definitely about to put him a lap down. And it's now a change. In fact, change not for third, but for fourth, because John Peerless has got himself back into the position from where he started the race at the expense of Roger and Vella. Martin Ward is still third. Oh, Vella's back on the inside of Peerless. That nearly ended in contact, because I think Rodren realised only after he committed to the manoeuvre that he might not get the car stopped in time and had to snatch the brake to avoid clattering into the side of John Peerless's car. But John is coming on a little bit stronger now in the second half of the race, a bit like he did in race 1, and he started to challenge Martin Ward for this third position. Can he find a way through though? Up towards Surtees, clearways is a potential overtaking opportunity, and John Peerless looks to the inside line. That was a committed move. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Well, I said the Honda Civic made a good touring car. That was proper touring car racing there, but he does go through. Now, can Martin Ward fight back, and can Roger and Vella buy into all of this as well? Ward's car is quick in a straight line. He's getting shoved up to the edge of the road. This is aggressive racing here from John Peerless. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty here. Right round the outside is going Martin Ward. That surely won't work. No, he gets out over the curb, and so Roger and Vella takes advantage, gets on the inside of him, and could retake fourth position out of all of this. So Peerless goes third, fourth for Vella, and down to fifth from where he came is Martin Ward. But John Peerless not making any friends in the Royal Purple Hot Hatch Championship here at Brands Hatch. He's heating up on the track, certainly, with this competition between the three Civics for third place. But Peerless it is, who for the time being has placed himself onto the bottom step of the podium. But can Roger Vella now do something about that and retake third place? He's seen the way that John Peerless raced Martin Ward. It certainly seems to have had the effect of scaring Ward off. Ward is dropping well back now, but how much of a risk is Roger and Vella going to be willing to take? They do have championship points to think about though. This is the opening round of the championship, but these were all drivers who are hoping to compete for the title in 2018. And so every point matters, even from this very early stage. Up the hill, into Druids. 10 mini in front of him, about to go lap down. That's Charlie Collins. Check in further back with some of the battles going on. That is Michael Winkworth still in the Citroen Saxo, dicing with Mac McCarthy. Dr. Evil, as he's known. And the car looks fairly evil, doesn't it? That black Ford Fiesta, but it's running fairly well actually. He finished 10th in race 1. And looking to try and replicate that top 10 performance in race number 2. He's got the little Saxo, more innocent a car you couldn't imagine than the Citroen Saxo. Up on its tiptoes behind, such as the way that those cars are set up to sort of lean forward almost, helps pivot the car through the corners that way. Looks a bit odd, but it certainly works. Look at this corner speed he took through Paddock Hill Bend there, and Winkworth trying to go around the outside of Dr. Evil. That's brave. And Matt McCarthy, living up to his name, isn't exactly kind to Winkworth, shoves him off over the edge of the curb, but Winkworth won't say no and dives back up the inside into Graham Hill Bend, so he does now make the move stick, and it's now the turn of Ian Williamson to apply the pressure to the tattoo artist in front of him. So, McCarthy certainly getting his elbows out. It's been a bit more of a frenetic second race for the Royal Purple Hot House Championship. I know we had that red flag in race 1, but things were fairly calm until then. In this race, it's all got a little bit physical through, well, right from the front of the field, right through, it would seem. Across the start-finish line, more of these midfield gaggles. That's the number 30 machine, which is Paul Waterhouse's Honda Civic Type R. There they are about to put a lap on Paul Cockerell in the Citroen C2 GTS. Car number 6, which stays well out of the way there. Car running its 1600cc engine compared to some of the turbocharged cars around, struggling for performance, it would seem. Oh, that was a dive up the inside of the back marker there. That was Ian Williamson, who lost a bit of touch actually with the cars in front of him since we last checked in. Number 24 there, the Renault Clio, Callum Hoochin, the bonnet flapping loose at the front there. That is dangerous potentially, because if the air gets underneath that at high speed, it can very easily pop the bonnet wide open. So the field streams back through. We are now getting into the closing stages of this race. 13 minutes plus 1 lap as ever, and this is the fight for third. Roderick Vella and John Peerless still at it, and can Roderick get through? So far, no good. He hasn't been able to, but can he find a way through now, I wonder? Into Paddock Hill Bend, and a lock up there for Peerless, who is starting to feel the pressure. Here comes the Citroen again though of Cockerell. They both dive to the inside, but that means that Druids is not on this occasion an overtake opportunity, because they're both going to the inside line anyway. Down into Graham Hill Bend. We're hearing reports, by the way, that we might have lost Steve Sawley. Yes, we have. Steve Sawley has disappeared, so his car's pulled off somewhere into retirement, which means that Alistair Camp has inherited the race lead. So Alistair Camp now leads the way, and this has become the fight for second. So both of these drivers, whether they know it or not, are fighting for a podium position. It's just a case of whether it's going to be second or third. So Peerless has it, Vella wants it, and they're pulled right away from Martin Ward now to the tune of 10 seconds nearly. So Martin may be running into some sort of issues towards the end of the race. Also diving into the pit lane there was Chris Woods, I noticed, in the 43 car, the Citroen Saxo. Potential late race dramas for him as well, so that's a shame. These cars, quite a lot of them are fairly highly strung, and they operate at a high level. Sometimes they struggle to sustain over the course of the weekend. A few cars didn't start, by the way, mainly those that were involved in the red flag incident in race 1, Ivor Mayers, for example, being one of them. Ben Rushworth also never started the race. We were looking to see whether he appeared at the back of the grid. He didn't. So a few of our potential frontrunners in strife before the race even got underway, really. John Peerless has just managed to get himself a car between he and Roderick Vella, that car being the loose-bonneted number 24 Renault Clio of Callum Hoochin, as Alistair Campbell, well, he is setting some speed records here, is Alistair Campbell, because he set a lap record in the first race. In this race, though, actually, John Peerless has set a new lap record, 54.72, with average speed of nearly 80 miles an hour, which around the tight technical Indy circuit at Brands Hatch is fairly impressive. But Alistair Camp, it is, who's now less than a lap away from the checkered flag, and win number 2 for the weekend here at Brands Hatch. Half a lap to go. He's got a pretty sizable margin over the Peerless and Vela battle behind. It's over 4 seconds as they start the final lap. He may have just reined it in a bit on the final lap, so it may come down, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere near him. Mr. Camp out of the final turn, and the Tom Bell Racing prepared Ford Fiesta is coming towards the start-finish line to take victory in round number 2 of the 2018 Royal Purple Hot Hatch Championship. Checkered flag goes to Alistair Camp. Second place, I think, will go to John Peerless. Yes, it does. Roger and Vella third, Martin Ward fifth, and Philip Wright in fifth. Alex Tate was sixth. That was an improvement ahead of David Sadowski. Ryan Polly, Dor Boyd, and Michael Wentworth, the first of the Saxos, home in 10th. And then it's Matt McCarthy, Ian Williamson, Callum Hooch and Rob Fagg and Paul Waterhouse ahead of John Hobbs, Sean Green, Bicknell next in line, then Charlie Collins and Joe Ben. Chris Farr and Paul Cockrell the last 2 finishers. We lost Chris Woods, Steve Sawley, Jordan Holmes, Paul Keynes, Ben Leach and Ray Kearney, whilst Ivan Mayers, William Hornsey, they were non-starters, so too Leon Shepherd, Ben Rushworth, Adam Reed and Marcus Bicknell.
2 wins out of 2 this weekend, Alistair. It couldn't have gone any better.
No, absolutely brilliant. Like you say, we're a small part driving it. Massive thank you to Tom at TBR for building everything. Massive thanks to the dad for getting us here and that, and the mum and the fiance. Massive thanks, because without you guys we wouldn't be here doing all this.
John, considering you're racing in the Class B car, 60 horsepower down on the Class A's, to come second, that's some feat.
Yeah, look, it's fantastic. I'm thrilled to bits, and like I said earlier on, I'd like to thank Andy Waters for his help setting the car up. He's done a sterling job, helped me a lot with my driving, shared drives with him. A week ago I was supposed to be driving in the Classics, bought out the Civic, dragged out at the back, came and raced, and then on your good day you can have a position like that, so I'm thrilled to bits.